In episode 3, The Way Through, we see the prisoners having inexplicably decided to dig a tunnel out of town. They've been at it for a week only to encounter a metal barrier. As they try to retreat, sirens blare and gas fills the tunnel, causing Janet to collapse. Joe heroically returns to rescue her. At Shanghai Palace, they sit down for a mouth-watering buffet lunch. Janet refuses to give up hope and insists on finding a way out, leading to tension with the others. After an outburst, she apologizes, and Moira proposes that they signal the outside world instead of escaping, which you think they would have thought of before opting to dig a tunnel for a week. They gather burnable materials to create a signal fire and leave lunch early to find stuff to burn. Meanwhile, in San Francisco, Kat expresses frustration over Jermaine missing their lunch. Jermaine says he's back on Janet's disappearance and believes it ties into a bigger story since Eleanor now has Megan. Kat seems persuaded this time and says they need a body for a compelling story. While searching for materials, Bill tries to kiss Shannon, who goes full Kumatai on his A and leaves Bill flailing on the ground. Later at a TV repair shop, Bill sees footage of Cameron smothering a woman, but dismisses it when Cameron returns. The prisoner's signal fire fails because somehow every single thing they collected has been doused with a flame retardant, but they spot a helicopter overhead. It doesn't land, but it does drop a metal box. Inside the box are 3 gas masks. Tensions rise over the limited resources, and Chadwick Boseman gives his mask to Moira. Janet demands Cameron's mask for her daughter, even though her daughter isn't there. The demand leads to a heated exchange, where Cameron reminds her he also has family concerns. Back in San Fran, Jermaine comes home to find his apartment ransacked. He sees Edith, who threatens him with a gun, yet also says he admires Jermaine's articles. Edith takes Jermaine's laptop and kicks Jermaine before walking out. Bill confronts Cameron and makes up a story about a troubling dream involving smothering him, which causes Cameron to recall his wife's suffering. As Moira and Chadwick Boseman search for protective gear, he reveals his past experiences as a guard in a military prison and his conversion to Islam for clarity. Moira asks to learn from him. Janet discovers Cameron in a grocery store, and upon opening a door, is trapped in gas. Cameron puts on his mask while Janet coughs uncontrollably from the fumes. They eventually get out of the room. Later, Janet vandalizes a surveillance camera in frustration, leading Chadwick Boseman to caution her about the dangers of invisible gases, and somehow no one chuckles at the phrase. Later that night, Janet is in a diner eating ice cream. Joe joins her. It's Cherry Jubilee, which he says is his favorite, because his dad would get him that ice cream after his Little League games. In case you haven't heard of that flavor either, it's cherry ice cream with rum flavoring. Every child's favorite. But their happy moment is interrupted when Janet notices a poster that had been in front of her the whole time. A poster of Eleanor and Megan, leading her to storm off and again inexplicably demand that Moira hand over her mask to protect Megan. But Joe intervenes to help her regain control. The next morning, chaos ensues as the hotel lobby fills with gas, causing panic among the group. Joe realizes the gas isn't toxic, but the masks begin to malfunction and are stuck to their faces. The masks themselves start to fill with a green gas. After a harrowing struggle, they manage to remove the masks. Janet proposes a ruthless approach to their situation, rejecting the night manager's optimistic gesture of fortune, cookies. She declares that they will create their own luck and steps out with Joe, determined to take control of their fate. Finally, Edith meets with Latin Gomez, suggesting he can provide information on Janet's disappearance, linking it back to her husband in San Francisco. And when the detective opens the file, we see Janet's husband is no other than Flight of the Conchords. And that's a wrap on episode 3, The Way Through. The stakes keep rising as Janet and the group battle not only their own inner demons, but deadly gas attacks. With trust fraying and the danger becoming more psychological, it's clear no one is safe, not even from each other. The tension between Janet's desperation to find her daughter and the group's fractured alliances is only pulling them deeper into this dark mystery. And just when we thought we had a lead, Edith drops a bombshell that ties it all back to Janet's husband.